Hello everyone! I am finally sitting down to make this video. I know it's been forever that I said I was gonna make this video, but I'm doing it now, so here we are. I'm going to be reviewing the Flux hoop by Proton Labs and the Hyperion hoop. I still don't know what to call their company. Like, is it Argent Data Systems? I'm not even gonna get into it. Hyperion hoop by Hyperion, Argent Data Systems, whatever you want to call it. The Hyperion versus the Flux. So I have all my notes here. I have both websites open on my laptop, and let's get into it. So I wanted to start by saying the tubing options. Both of these hoops are only available in 3/4, and both of them are available in Polypro and HDPE. Hyperion has colored Polypro options. I believe they have aqua and violet. I believe those are the only two color options they have now. And then the Flux does not currently have any colored options on their website, but you can order your own translucent tubing from your own hoop supplier or whatever and have it sent to their warehouse, and they will put it on their on your hoop for you before you get sent your hoop. So both of them do have the option to have colored tubing. That being said, let's move on into it. Someone requested that I go over the different holes that are drilled into the tubing. So I'm going to start with the Hyperion. God, I need to go on this side and make sure that this is cool. Okay, so here's the Hyperion. This is the push button connection, obviously. So those are two holes drilled right there. And then this is, I'm pretty sure a hole that's drilled. It's on both sides right there. Sorry. Trying to get this to go. I don't know if it's focusing, but it's right here, and it's right here on this side. And so that hole, God, this sucks. Whatever. So that, and then the push button, and then on the other side, there's another one right here, which is for the charging port. And then, if I grab the Flux actually, here's the charging port, which is one of the holes. This is actually, this little piece right here, from here to here, is a custom connector that they have custom made for them. So it's molded into the shape, which allows them to have the screen put in there, and then the joystick, which is right here, that you move around. And then the other holes that are in the tubing are this little screw here, which allows you to retube your tubing at home, and then just the push button here, which the custom connector has the push button in it, so it's just one drill in the tubing, versus the Hyperion has the two for the push button so that it can stay in the closed option. This one you never have to open and close to turn it on or off. You just turn on the little toggle thing, whatever it's called. And let me just make sure that's on. Alright, so those are the holes that are drilled into the tubings. Just wanted to make sure I'm getting everything on my little note thing. So yeah, battery gap and battery options, and battery life. So the Flux is gapless. However, the little screen here, we've been noticing more and more. It's not really a battery gap, but sometimes when you're hooping and you're hooping in this plane, as you can see, there's going to be the screen right there, which will cover the LEDs. So it can give the illusion that it does have a gap, but it is indeed 100% gapless. And the Hyperion has a small battery gap. It's not super small, not super big. It's from here to here, so it's like one, I don't know if that's a correct inch, but it's about, I'd say about 2.5 inches. So those are the battery gaps. And then, yeah, from looking at them, the Hyperion has the removable batteries. It comes with 4 of them, and you can always order a bunch more, which I honestly do like having removable batteries, because when my hoop dies, I can just pop in another battery and bam, I'm hooping again. However, the Flux has internal batteries, and the battery life on the Flux is insane. I usually am using it at about 5%, 5 to 20% brightness, because that's how I have to set it to, so it'll see the patterns on my phone. Yeah, and I just can hoop with it for like a whole week, for probably like 45 minutes to an hour every night, and it just stays the whole week, and it's insane to me. I love it, and it charges in about an hour. The Hyperion, I've lost like almost all of the stuff that my Hyperion came from. I had to order a new remote for the purpose of this video. I wanted to have the remote so that I could turn the brightness up. But what was I saying? Yeah, the batteries, I don't know. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, the battery life. I think it comes with a 2-port battery charger, and so you can charge 2 at a time, and those charge approximately about the same time, an hour and 20 minutes, and those will be charged. So, and you can charge all 4, and that's one pro for the Hyperion, I think, is that it's removable batteries, but then also it has a gap because of that. So it's kind of what you would rather have. Would you rather have the gap and have the option to pop in a new battery, like if you go to festivals a lot or something, or if you're like me and I pretty much just hoop in my front lawn, and I don't really care about that, although it is nice to have it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's up to you. It's personal preference. So yeah, battery gap, battery options. Like I said, Hyperion is removable batteries, and the Flux is internal batteries. Battery life. Balance. The Hyperion is not balanced when it comes, if you don't order any counterbalance. However, they do have the option to have the 3-point counterbalance. I have the 3-point counterbalance. So the battery is right here, and the counterbalances are here and here. So that makes the hoop perfectly balanced, but it does add, I think, like 1.9 ounces, maybe, something like that. Let me check, actually. I might have it on the Hyperion website. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, we can include counterweights to balance the hoop, which add a total of 1.9 ounces. It is available at no extra cost. And if you don't like it, they will remove it free of charge. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then another thing I wanted to do really quick while I was on both of their websites is the sizes that they have available. And so Hyperion takes orders from 22 inches to 40 inches, and they measure inner diameter. And Flux, I believe, yes, Flux does measure inner diameter as well, and they are available from a 24, I know, to 36-inch inner diameter. So yeah, my Hyperion is a 22.5-inch inner diameter, and my Flux is a 24-inch inner diameter. And yeah, so yeah, that being said, obviously the Flux is that much bigger. I can't get the balance on my hand. So it's definitely like a little bit bigger, an inch and a half bigger or whatever, and they are, honestly, the Flux is a little heavier, but given the difference in the size, I think it adds up. They're about, I'd say, about the same weight with the Hyperion having the 3-point. With the Hyperion not having the 3-point, I think it would be lighter. I personally like my hoops to have weight on them. I think it just helps me a lot. So I don't really care about that, but if you're a stickler for like weight, the Hyperion's probably definitely lighter, but if you want it to be balanced, it'd be about the same. So moving on, user friendliness. So yeah, the Hyperion comes with, as I said before, this handy dandy remote, and you know, I've had my Hyperion for 2 years in January, this upcoming January, 2018. So I've had it close to 2 years now. And one thing I can say about the remote is that you have to hit it at like a certain angle. Sometimes, like if someone has my remote and they're trying to do it, it won't work. I have to stop hooping and like hold it in a weird way. I don't know if that's just my hoop or what, but it's not that terribly annoying, but it could have been a little better. And yeah, let's see. So let's turn on the Hyperion. Ow. God, that hurt. Yeah, I don't know what brightness this is on. Let me see. Okay, so that's no brightness. Okay, so this is the lowest brightness, so I'm probably going to just leave it on there for now. So how the Hyperion works is that, I hope you can see this, this remote, but there's all of these right here are all the different categories of patterns. For example, there's the glitter patterns, sparkle patterns, or picture patterns. I can't think of all of them right now. But yeah, there's all the different types of patterns, and you just click on whatever. So, I actually just clicked. So this turquoise button here was the motion reactive patterns, which I'm also going to try to go over a little bit in this video. So yeah, I think it's kind of, it is easy to like click the buttons, but remembering which ones are which is hard for me. I personally only remembered like 2 of the categories, the ones that I like the most, and the rest of them I just don't know. Yeah, so the rest of the buttons on here are a lot of different things. Like you can set your favorite patterns on here. I think you can set up to 6 of your favorite patterns onto the remote for easy access. So it is easy to use, but like I said, I just got the remote for the purpose of this video so that I could show you with the brightnesses up and down and whatnot. I lose my remotes like nothing, and so I usually just kind of turn my Hyperion on and just like use it. So I let it randomly flow through. So overall, I'd say it is user-friendly. It's kind of annoying about the categories thing, but other than that, I just think a remote is user-friendly, and if you don't have the remote or you lose it, you can just turn it on and it will still just shuffle through all of the patterns at random. So that's good. The Flux, I believe, is the most user-friendly hoop on the market for sure. There's no other hoop that has this type of what is it called? Controls where you can go through all of the settings so easily and actually see what you're doing on the screen. I don't want to take so much time to go out and do it. I will show you some of it, but I have a whole review on the Flux on my YouTube, and it shows the screen up close and stuff, and going through some of the settings. You can go through all the settings, brightness, the light, LED density, go through and choose which pattern you want, which category of pattern you want, or put it on shuffle. You can put it on shuffle Flux patterns plus Hyperion patterns. You could do Flux patterns plus a certain category from Hyperion patterns. It's really cool. It has all the settings on here. I'll quickly show it to you right now. Ooh. Okay, so here it is. Flux patterns, custom patterns, power. You can see there it's on 10%. I'm going to put it down to 5. LED density. I always have mine on full density, I know. And then you can see the battery usage, like da-da-da-da. And then there's a lot more settings. You can see your serial number and everything from here, storage used, how much storage you have left, and you can choose patterns and stuff. Again, I'm not going to get too much into it because I have a whole nother video on that, but I do 100% think that the Flux is the most user-friendly hoop. I just think that it's so high-tech looking. The screen is so cool. It's just awesome. The first time I ever saw the Flux on, I think it was probably on Infinite Circles or something, or maybe on Instagram, I'm not sure, probably on Infinite Circles or on Facebook somewhere, but the first time I saw it, I just was like, my jaw just dropped. I was like, a screen on a hoop? That was like the thing that just was like, I need this hoop. That's just like sold me on it. And I had to wait a long time before I was able to like afford it. And then when I did finally get it, it took about 3 months for me to get it. That's another thing I wanted to say. The wait time, Hyperion, gosh, I wish I knew exactly. Let's check actually. Haha, handy dandy website. Okay, so one thing I do like about Hyperion's website is that they do have this thing, God, if I could only find it. They do have a little thing like to check where your status is in the queue. So yeah, the oldest order in the queue has been waiting 59 days, so about 60 days, so that's about 2 months. So yeah, and you can put in your order number and it will tell you how much you are at, like 15%. Once you get to about, I think, like 85-90%, then that's when your hoop is being built and it's about to be shipped. So that's one cool thing that I do like about Hyperion's website. Hyperion's website is also different in where you go, when you go to actually buy the hoop, when you click buy, it directs you to Argent Data Systems, which is why in the beginning of the video I didn't know if I should call the company that actually makes the Hyperion hoop Argent Data Systems or Hyperion. But I'm going to go with Argent Data Systems because I know Scott does a lot more than just making smart hoops. He's got a bigger life than that. So, yeah. So overall, I think both websites are really cool, easy to use, easy to navigate through. Both ordering, how you can order is easier. I know that for the Flux, I don't believe that you can order with Amazon. Or wait, no, I'm sorry, not Amazon, PayPal. I'm so terrible at this because I don't ever use Amazon. I don't know why I even said that. Anyways, so I'm going right now to check, sorry, on my handy dandy website, laptop, whatever, if you can use PayPal. Yeah, oh, it says we accept PayPal. There we go, done. So yeah, Hyperion does accept PayPal. Flux currently does, Proton Labs currently does not. If you like to use PayPal or if you have PayPal credit or whatever. Yeah. Okay, we're getting through this list. So storage space and preloaded patterns. The Flux only comes with a few hundred patterns that are its own patterns, but the Flux also comes preloaded with all of the Hyperion patterns and the capability of holding all the Phoenix patterns and many, many more than that. So the storage space is incredible. It's just way bigger than any other hoop. And the Hyperion comes preloaded with 1,400 patterns. So once again, the Flux comes with the Hyperion patterns also, which I think is cool. Because if you like the Hyperion for the patterns, just be reminded you can have all the patterns you want with the Flux. And the Hyperion does have the ability to add your own preloaded custom patterns, just like the Flux does. Let me find this really quick. Sorry if I keep going to this. I need to get all the details and make sure I'm telling you for real what's going on. So yeah, Flux, the Flux, reading straight off the website from here, so bear with me. The only smart hoop to use 168 MHz ARM core compared to just 16 in the Evoke for advanced image processing. All patterns run at 500 frames per second for insanely detailed color morphing, and blending, especially from sound and motion. So basically, the Flux hoop processor is so fast that it's capable of producing like the most detailed, intricate patterns that I love, and I love the Flux because of those patterns. I have not. Oh, why did I close that? I don't know why I did that. Let me find it. So yeah, I have not gotten into making my own patterns or not. I'm really not that great with using the computer and such. So yeah, I just don't even do that. Yeah. Anyways, so if I go through the feature list really quick, I want to go through the feature list of what the actual websites say for each hoop. Let me go back to here. Come on, Hyperion website. Alright, we're back. Alright, so features, the Hyperion website says motion sensors. The hoop includes 9 motion and position sensors, 3 linear, 3 rotational, and 3 magnetic, which allows amazing, unique motion reactive modes. It also says that they are constantly adding new modes as they experiment, which is awesome. What, Ollie, are you coming in the video now? I don't know if you saw that, but my dog's laying in front of me now, and he's just staring at me like a weirdo. LEDs wise, sorry, this is the Hyperion still. LEDs, the Hyperion uses the high brightness LEDs capable of displaying over 16 million colors. A typical 32-inch hoop has about 155 LEDs. Now, I know that the Flux has like an insane amount of LEDs, like more. I know it has more than any hoop. Oh yeah, and on here, speaking of the storage space, it has 4 times more pattern storage space than the Hyperion, just for an actual number, because this is just Hyperion versus Flux. So yeah, the Flux is fully motion and sound reactive. I will say that while you do get all of the Hyperion patterns on the Hyperion motion patterns do not transfer onto the Flux, whereas they'll work, because obviously they're programmed to work for the Hyperion. So when you put them there, they don't have the same like programming, coding, whatever. Again, I'm not good at this, so I don't know, but I know that it doesn't work. So yeah, that being said, I love the Hyperion motion patterns. They are awesome. I love them. I loved them ever since the update came out, and I updated my hoop and I was like, yes, I love this. That being said, I would really love to see some similar patterns come from Proton Labs. Proton Labs, work on that, please. Thank you. But yeah, the motion patterns that are on the Flux, I haven't gotten so in depth with. I actually have a funny story that when I was using my hoop for the first few times, I came across a motion reactive pattern, and it was actually where when you move the hoop in a certain way, it goes off, or when you move it another way, it goes off, or whatever. And my hoop, I guess it was because like I'm a fast hooper, or like semi-fast hooper, that it wasn't picking up me moving it as well, and so it turned black, and I just thought my hoop broke, and I was freaking out, but it turned out that it was just me not using it correctly. So yeah, I'll have to get into those more, but right now I haven't. Yeah. So I think I went over all of those things. Sorry, I'm just making sure that I'm covering everything on this that I possibly can. What else do I have on here? Oh yeah, another thing about the Flux is that the Flux fades between patterns, which means that for the Hyperion, when it changes patterns, you'll have one like millisecond or whatever it's called in between that's black. For the Flux, it literally like seamlessly like fades into another pattern, so it never is black. It's just constant like colory goodness. So yeah, I think I've gotten over most of the things that I wanted to go over. Customer service wise, my first Smarthoop ever was the Hyperion 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, like I said, and their customer service has always been fantastic for me. Scott, Julia, they've always been super helpful and fun to talk to. Chatted up with Julia, but they're really nice people, and same with Proton Labs. They're great people. They love this community and they love what they do, and I just really am happy with the experiences that I've had with both companies. I can't say a bad thing about either one. Definitely very responsive. I know that Hyperion has a group. Scott, the owner of Hyperion, is really responsive on Facebook, as well as Craig, the owner of Proton Labs. They're both very responsive on Facebook. They both have groups for the hoop groups. So yeah, the Flux Hoop Flomies group, and I believe the Hyperion group is just Hyperion Hoop. So if you want more info, feel free to join those groups, and yeah, you can kind of see all of the users that have the same hoop and stuff. So yeah, I think that I've covered a lot of what I wanted to say, and I don't want this video to drag on forever. I'm gonna just end with, my personal opinion on both of these hoops, which I think is better for my personal preference, and I believe that the Flux is God, I don't want to say that, but I just kind of, no offense to Hyperion, think that the Flux is a more complete hoop. It's gapless. I don't know. I don't think that I'll ever, I rarely pick up my other hoops now that I have my Flux. I just ordered my second Flux. I just think that based on all of the specs and basically everything that I just said, I think that the Flux, even though it is a little bit more expensive, it's the better bang for your buck.